Welcome back, my friends. Here we are at it again because you know every bit counts. Today we're going to be preserving fruit. I hope that you will take the time to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you can be notified next video.
Okay, friends, do you remember? It's been a couple days now, but, well, for me anyway, probably about 36 hours ago, I was sitting in my chair relaxing with my buddy Luke, and we were cutting grapes in half, the white grape, or the green grapes. My daughter prefers those over the red grapes. And so anytime I have the opportunity to get a good deal on things we love, that's the time to go ahead and grab them. So I had several of the bags of the green grapes, and as delicious as they were, there was no way we were going to get to all of them in time. And I thought, you know, everybody loves my raisin bread, and there's a raisin salad that I like to make with the broccoli, and it uses the green grapes or the white raisins. And so I went ahead and decided to go ahead and make some of those. Thought I'd show you how that turned out. I have a large Cabela's dehydrator, so I can do a lot at once. And I have found these sheets on Amazon. They're so nice because then you can just use them to pour things in. I actually prefer to do the red grapes to make the raisins with. And I like to get them when they're the really, really small ones, the ones that nobody wants to buy from the store for eating. And so you can get at a good price, but I don't know if I've showed you this before, but I just take like a toothpick and I poke all the way through them, and I make a hole, and I can leave them as a whole raisin. I can just get through it so much quicker. But this is what it looks like. It's flat, it's dry, it's still pliable, and delicious. All right, well, it'll take me a few more minutes, and I'll just go ahead and bring you back when I have the jars full. This is what a whole raisins look like, and these are the half raisins. So these are a lot more plump and a little bit more juice in them. These must have been a bigger grape than I'm used to, but I have found that I really like the smaller grapes. Now later on, if you stick with me, you'll go on a different grape journey with me when my own personal grapes are ready. Mine have seeds in them, so they're better for juicing, but we can make grape butter, which I started last year, and it was a huge hit. And I love making homemade grape juice. My kids absolutely adore it. My middle child swears by it when it's cold season. And then you can make grape jelly too. So there's lots of things that we can do with the seedy grapes too. I'm going to take and put these on my shelf that's full actually of dehydrated foods. And every couple days, I'm going to shake these. You need to do that for a while when you first dehydrate something. Otherwise, you can see this one I didn't do as much. It tends to want to stick together. Just give it a quick shake. And that's another reason why you don't want to fill it completely full, so that you have room to get a little shaky shake going on. Speaking of fruit that may not last, got these raspberries, and I knew they needed to be used within a couple days, but we didn't get to them. Got my daughter the strawberries. She was wanting strawberries. Guess what? They're starting to not look so good too. You guessed it, bananas. I have plenty in the freezer for banana bread, and then I have a few random apricots if I need to fill in. They're still quite edible, but we'll just see how far we get with this. First things first, let's start rinsing. I've got the freeze dryer going while I rinse off this fruit. I'm going to show you how things were going. Ended up with more raspberries than I thought, but I still had room for the apricots. and less strawberries. And then the bananas, I have, this is just lemon juice. And I am dipping in the lemon juice so it won't turn brown. And then putting it over here on the tray. I'm making a bit of a mess, but you know, that's how we roll here. So I did the apricots, the raspberries, the strawberries, the bananas, and lo and behold, I had room for an extra tray. And I knew y'all would say, hey, have you ever freeze-dried grapes before? Not till today! Let's give it a try, friends. Well, can you believe it? It's time already. The fruit has come out of the freeze dryer. I have done strawberries and bananas before, so it's no shock to me. Super light, super fluffy, and trust me, super delicious. The apricots, they came out the same way. And the raspberries, even though they were whole, they're like little fluff balls. These are just little chunks of apricot. And I'm going to tell you, these apricots were store-bought. They weren't a local grown one. And they didn't have much flavor. So let's see if the flavor changes. Yeah, they definitely developed more of an intense flavor. They're not super intense. I imagine they got a little tart. They were tart to start with, but I imagine that a fresh, local grown one would just be sweeter. So I hope to try that someday. Apricots don't always grow so well here, but it's the grapes. It's the grapes that got me this time. Here they are. And they did get lighter. You can hear them. But even though they're not cold, because that's how you test if they're done, they are almost like the dehydrated, and they're still a little pliable. Let's give it a taste test. Okay. I'm going to treat them like they're dehydrated. That's how I'm going to choose to store them. But I'm not sure how they would do in a recipe. I don't think they would take the place of a raisin. I think these are just going to be for snacking because they're almost like fruit leather. So yeah, I bet we could do interesting things with these, like put a special coating on them. Like I've heard of people doing like sugary stuff like Kool-Aids or Jellos. You know, have you ever seen that where they take grapes and they roll them in powdered Jello? Maybe. Could be a new experiment. I mean, seriously, if times got tough, whether it be weather made a power outage, financial hard times, if this was stored properly, I would have the most delicious fruit salad around.